Hi everyone and welcome back to a brand new speed build. Today I have some Tomarang city apartments and I am so excited to share this because this was supposed to go out around when the for rent expansion pack came out. Like this was supposed to go out I think even like around Christmas. I think that was around when. But if you watched any of my last videos, you will know that I got COVID over Christmas and I was like just in bed for like a month. Not actually, but like basically. And so I wasn't ever able to post this. I just realized that I think I accidentally tried to say ever and ever. I don't even know. I just said ever weirdly. I am so sorry. Anyways, yeah, so I built this around when we got the for rent expansion pack, but I never posted it. But here it is, and I love this build. I love this build so much. I am so happy with how it turned out. I'm so proud of how it looks. I love every single thing about this build, and I really hope you guys do too. I wanted to build another kind of like apartment building thing because with the two videos I did post for the new expansion pack, the newest expansion pack that we have now, but it was new when I built this, so I don't know. I'm gonna probably mess up my words in this, but I'm so sorry. But anyways, when I did those two builds specifically with this pack, I did one that was, I think I just called them like Tomarang apartments. They're in the same area as this build is, which is kind of like the city area. And yeah, it's an apartment building with, I think it was like 4 different apartments. I think it was 4. Don't quote me on that. I'm pretty sure. I will link it up in the card, or it's already been linked at this point. But then I also built a more like kind of traditional home. It wasn't too traditional, but it was more in the Southeast Asian style, and it's in the kind of, I don't want to say like suburban part of this world because I wouldn't call it like the suburban part, but I think you know what I mean. If you look at the map of Tomarang, there's like obviously the city area in the top, I think like top left, but then in the bottom right there's more of a, I don't know, quote unquote suburban area, maybe a little bit more like a countryside-ish area. And I built a house there, and then after I built that I was like, I want to build another kind of apartment, and we have a couple of more lots in this city area, and I decided to build this one, and I think this is the smallest lot that we have in this area. It's a 20 by 15, and I had so much fun with it. I did go off of a picture from Pinterest. I'll plop it up here on the screen. So the front of the build was very much inspired by that, but then obviously the back and the sides and what I end up doing for like the interior stuff like that are totally my own ideas. But yeah, so I went off a picture. I had so much fun. I thought this was going to be a lot more difficult than it was, but it worked out very well in the end. It ends up having 3 apartments in this, so it's not huge, but it ends up having 3 apartments. I'm struggling with my words. I'm so sorry. So the bottom floor is 1 apartment, the middle floor is 1 apartment, and then the top floor is an apartment, which I wanted to fit in more apartments, but that is just how the floor plan worked out, and I think it works in the end. The apartment on the bottom floor wasn't supposed to be an apartment in the way it turned out to be. At first I was planning on having a kind of like community lot type area. Like I thought I was going to make it maybe into a bar or something like that. So you will see where there's a door on the bottom floor that has this kind of like awning on top of it. Originally that was going to lead into like a bar or something, but then when I was doing the floor plan, it just didn't make sense, and yeah, with how I wanted the apartments to be, it just didn't make sense. So the entire bottom floor ends up being an apartment, so there's no like bar or laundry area or like whatever, but I think that's okay. The apartments are still like pretty small. 2 of the apartments are single apartments, and then the bottom floor apartment is a 2-bedroom apartment. So you can have a few Sims here, but it's not like anything huge or anything like that. I just wanted it to be a kind of like, I don't know, normal quote-unquote apartments, if that makes any sense. I also wanted to go for a little bit of a different color scheme for the exterior than I had in the other 2 builds that I had done, because for the apartments that I did like the first build with the pack, those I ended up using this very like dark wood tone, and I wanted to do a kind of like lighter one. So you will obviously see that for this build, I ended up using a lot of like white and like creamy colors. So the like all the windows and accents and all of that like on the build are all white. If you can hear a cat meow, that is my cat. Don't mind her. She's not happy that I closed my door. I always close my door when I'm recording, but I will open it after I'm done recording. Don't worry, I will cuddle her after. But yeah, so like all the windows and accents and doors and all of that are white, and then the wallpaper for the exterior. I don't know, I guess the exterior wallpaper or whatever you call it. I struggled a little bit because I knew that I wanted it to be this like creamy kind of color, but I did struggle a little bit. I think in the end I ended up going with one that came with the Jungle Adventure pack. I think you won't see me struggle because I think it cut out most of that. But yeah, I did struggle. Like, trust me, it took a bit to find something I liked, but I ended up going with just a regular kind of creamy one that came with the Jungle Adventure pack, and I think I went with the Jungle Adventure one because it has some like texture to it, and I think it just looked better and more realistic. And I do also end up putting all of like these, I don't know, like dirt things on the walls. So again, with this pack, and also I think we have some with like vampires and maybe even werewolves and stuff like that, but we have these like just, I don't know, like dirty things they can put on the walls. I think from like the like vampires pack we have like scratches and stuff like that as well, which I obviously didn't put in this house, but I think I actually only used things that came with the forward expansion pack, but they're like things that just show some like wear and tear. So I think there's one that has supposed to look a little bit like mold, and there's one that just looks like some water damage and stuff like that, which I find is so realistic because like anytime I'm out in a city, which to be fair is not like too often because I am a country girly, but I need to stop saying that. I realized in my last video I kept saying that I'm like a this or this girly, and I think I've just been spending too much time on TikTok, honestly. But I live on the countryside, so I'm not in like major cities a lot, but anytime I am, and I did grow up in one, so like that's kind of how I also know this, but I did grow up in a city, but like anytime I am, all the buildings have some like, they have some wear and tear, like that just comes with being a house of like a building in a city, because obviously there's going to be dirt from like just being there. So I did put a lot of that on the exterior for this, which I think just helped with the realism for the build. And yeah, I don't know, I just had a lot of fun. I put the is it called like a hopscotch thing that we also got with the forward expansion pack on the exterior, and in the back I was actually able to put the like marble thingy that we also got with this expansion pack, which was really fun. The back of the build is not that exciting like at all. I struggle a lot with the back of buildings like this because I'm like, what do I do? But I put like, I think a like dumpster container thingy and some like kind of landscaping, because like obviously when it comes to a build like this you can't really landscape, but it's me and there's gonna be some landscaping. I'm gonna try to, so I kind of like use these debug, I don't know what to call them, but like they're debug like squares and stuff that you can see kind of around the world, where like it kind of like sections off places where like, oh, here's a tree, and so you have this little box and there's a tree. So I put those in the back as well, and again the little like marble thing, which I wasn't able to use in my first apartment build, so I was really happy to use that in this one. And yeah, there's also the bottom floor apartment does have a kind of like outdoor space in the back as well. Actually all the apartments have like either a balcony or like that outdoor space, so obviously the bottom floor has that outdoor space, and then the second floor, you won't see me do this. I did cut out the footage of me decorating their balcony, but they do have a balcony off of the kitchen. And then the top floor, obviously you can see at the front, has a balcony as well. But yeah, anyways, I should probably talk a little bit about The Sims. I imagine living in all of the different apartments. By the way, if you want to know when I'm doing each apartment, there will be in the timestamps, there will be like apartment number 1 and apartment number 2 or whatever. I did that for my first apartment build as well, and I just think it's very handy I love timestamps myself because, like, if I'm searching for like a specific part that I want to watch, it's so much easier to find. But yeah, anyways, the first apartment is the bottom apartment, and that ends up being the biggest one. Like I said before, it ends up having 2 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms. So there's an ensuite bathroom and just like a general bathroom that you can that anyone in the family can use. And for that one, this is going to go into my save file, so I do have some like ideas of the Sims I want to live here. However, as always, if you do not want those Sims, like those type of Sims, or that family dynamic, or like whatever in that in that apartment, in that house, whatever, I don't care. Like if I say like, oh, I imagine like a young woman living here, you can have a young guy living there. I don't care. But this is just like what I imagine. So again, you can have whoever you want living, whatever. But the bottom apartment, I imagined for 2 parents and their daughter. Again, you don't have to have a daughter if you don't want to. I don't care. You can have a single parent there. I don't care. But I was kind of debating, like, I don't know, I feel like I decorated it also kind of to be for like a single mom in mind, but in my save file there's going to be 2 parents and that kid, and I think they might honestly also have a pet. I don't know. I don't remember. I built and edited this a bit ago, so I am so sorry. But yeah, I think it just, I know one of the apartments has like some type of pet. Oh, that's the second apartment. Never mind. I don't think the first apartment has any pets. But yeah, so for that apartment, I kind of just, for the first apartment that is, I kind of just went with I don't know how to explain it. It's just kind of just like a regular kind of interior. It's very light and bright as well. And the floor plan for the first apartment and the second apartment are very similar. Only that the first apartment is kind of small, or is not small. It's bigger than the first apartment, the second apartment. My God, I'm confusing myself. I am so sorry. But yeah, the first apartment is a little bigger than the second apartment, but otherwise they have kind of a similar floor plan. But I did try to kind of switch it up, like how I kind of like where I put the couch and like stuff like that, because I didn't want them to look exactly the same. But yeah, the first apartment, just very light and bright and pretty, and yeah, I don't know. It's kind of just typical apartment, honestly. And then the second apartment I imagined for a just single sim with their cat living there. I was imagining like a single woman living there, but again, you can have whatever you want. I don't care. And yeah, they just have the cat. I was thinking that they're kind of, I don't know, they're like, it's a young adult, at least in my mind, and they're just like trying to figure out their career and stuff like that. And they're just, I don't know, like kind of like just like a regular young adult. They have friends come over every now and again. On their balcony, which again you won't see me do, but I did put a like meditation stool thingy that we got from the spa day pack. So I don't know, maybe they're into that type of stuff. I don't know. But again, they do also have a cat, because I have to have at least one animal in all my builds apparently. I mean, I do myself live with 5 animals now. Yeah. So I feel like I have to add animals into every single build, because it just makes sense. Or what I'm saying, like pets, not animal. Well, I mean, pets are animals. I don't know. I'm confusing myself. I am so sorry. I am tired and I have a headache. I am sorry. But yeah. And then the third and final apartment, which again is on the top floor, has a little bit of a weirdo floor plan. I don't know what happened there. The bathroom ends up being in a very weird space. Like, it flows fine, but it's a little bit of a weird space. It is the smallest apartment, and I was imagining a, like, single guy living there. Either an adult or a young adult. I don't really know, but I was just imagining, like, a single guy living there, just living his best life. I think that he is maybe a little bit, like, nerdy. Not the, like, the typical, like, bachelor, maybe, but, like, I don't know, just a little bit nerdy, likes gaming and likes movies and stuff like that. I did kind of base it off of like a lot of my friends' apartments, because I am friends with a lot of just young single men, which sounds really weird, but I am, and like in their 20s, and I don't know, I see their apartments all the time, and I kind of just based it off of them. Of their apartments. There we go. But yeah, it's just a single guy there living there. There's no pet or anything like that. Again, if you want to add a pet, you can definitely do that, but I wasn't personally imagining that. But if you want to have a pet there, you can add it. But yeah, I don't know if there was anything else I want to mention specifically about this build. I do end up loving the kind of hallway space, or like common place, whatever, in on the second floor. I think it ends up looking so good. I don't know why. I love it so much. I don't know why I love it. I just do. And yeah, I don't know if there's anything else. I don't know. I don't think so. If you have any questions about the build or anything at all, ask me in the comments. I really don't mind. I can't believe that I have like already talked about finished like talking about the build, and we're 14 minutes or like 15 minutes in, and now I have to just ramble for another like 25 minutes, which if you've been here before, I can do, no issues. But lately I've been really good about talking about like the build for most of it, but not today apparently. I did want to mention one thing though, because I keep getting questions about this, and I thought I would like talk about it in a video just so you know I've talked about it. Sorry if you heard that. I hit my water bottle. I'm sorry, I talk a lot with my hands. But I wanted to talk about this. So if you've been here before, you will have seen that when I clutter up an area, you will either see these like pink water bottles or this kind of like green horn thingy that I use, which I have gotten so many questions about. And those really, they won't end up being there when you download a build. As you will see, I always delete them, but people always ask on my like speed build or TikTok videos or like whatever, people always ask now. Like I don't know why, but recently I've gotten so many questions about this. So basically, if you try to clutter something up, which we all know that I love clutter, I clutter everything and anything, I have a problem. Like, no, Doug, genuinely, I have a problem. My need to fill every single corner and wall space and everything like that is going to be the death of me. I've said it before and I will say it again. But when I tried to clutter up a surface, for instance, let's take like a dresser. So if you pull out a dresser, you want to clutter the top, you can either just like put things on top of it, and things will automatically slot to some things, right? So each kind of like surface you can clutter up has those slots, and depending on how big they are, you can put like different sized objects and stuff like that. However, what me and a lot of other Sims builders know is that those slots are not always where you want to place specific things, and I like to clutter up a lot, and usually like something will only have like 1 or 2 slots, and it won't be like that's not what you want. You want to have maybe like 3 things there. Actually more. I usually put like 5 things, but you know, I put a lot of things. And so to take up those slots, I put either that pink water bottle or that green horn. And the reason I use either of those two is because they're pretty tall. I prefer to use the green horn because it is tall, and it's kind of skinny towards the top, so I can still see the surface I'm cluttering up. But yeah, it just kind of takes up those slots so that when I do clutter, which by the way, I use the red shelf to clutter, which is just a CC item. It won't be in the build when you download it. It's just to get the right height of items. But I will just use that red shelf and put the things I want to clutter on the red shelf and then drag them toward the space I want to clutter. So again, the dresser, like if I want to clutter on top of a dresser, I will put all of those like green horns, let's say, which by the way, those those green horns are from the debug menu, if you ever wonder. But yeah, so let's say like I want to clutter up a dresser, I put those green horns there, and then I use the red shelf, and then I put all the items I want to have on top of the dresser on the red shelf, and then I can just freely drag them wherever I want on the dresser without them slotting to those places, if that makes sense. I don't know if this makes any sense, but basically that water bottle and that green horn takes up the slots, so I can more easily decorate things without things going to like a specific spot and I can't move it from there, if that makes any sense. I don't know if it does make any sense, but if you have any more questions about it, just ask me in the comments. But yeah, that's basically the way I do it. Again, it's not CC or anything like that. Again, the red shelf I use is CC, but it's not there whenever you download it, and I always delete those like water bottles or green horns, or at least I try to. You know, sometimes when I go to take screenshots, I notice that I just haven't deleted every single one, because sometimes I miss one and I will see it and be like, oh, that I needed to delete that and I just never did. But yeah, I just thought I'd mention it because again, I've been getting so many questions about it, and I just thought I'd mention it. I also wanted to talk about how I sometimes use, which by the way, like me using that, it's not just me. A lot of builders do it. But then I also want to talk about, sometimes you will see me, I don't think I do it in this build, but in some builds I use these kind of like tall lamps to figure out where like the center of a table is, for example. So specifically if I'm using like a round table, because I have a hard time finding where the center is when I want to decorate that, because either when you decorate you can use, again, the water bottle method. I'm gonna call it the water bottle method now. So you can either use that where like it takes up all the slots, but some things have so many slots and it takes forever to put all of those things and then delete them. So for example, if I'm like decorating a dining room table, I usually just place the things I want on the dining room table, then drag the table a little bit away, and then place those things freely, and then drag the table back to where it was originally and where those things are now, if that makes any sense. I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah. It's also what I do when I like clutter up kitchen counters, for example. So if you've ever seen me do that, you will know what I'm talking about. But yeah, you can either do like one of those things, and specifically when I clutter up like circular or like round dining room tables, I tend to put one of these like taller lamps in the middle so I know where the middle is, because I don't know why, but I don't know what just happened. But when specifically I want to clutter up like a round table, I just never find the middle. And specifically we also have a couple of round tables with a like outdoor tables with an umbrella in it. I think we got them from the backyard stuff pack, and whenever I use that, I always use that lamp in the middle so I know where to place things and so they don't like intersect with that umbrella. But yeah, those are just like some building tips. Also, like if you want to get into building and you want to make things easier for you, use the water bottle method. Download the OSMP shelf, which is the red shelf, which by the way I always have linked down below. Download that one because it's so helpful. And also, like, I specifically like using that because I like cluttering things up that maybe doesn't even have a slot to begin with, so it's so much easier to like clutter things up that way. Because like in a lot of the bookshelves, for instance, that we have, there are like empty spaces, and sometimes I want to fill out like every single empty space, but only 2 of those spaces have a slot, so I won't be able to unless I use that shelf to get the right height of the item and stuff like that. But yeah, just like if you want to build easier, use those things. I also highly recommend the tool mod by Twisted Mexi, which is, I've also gotten questions about this. This is just me answering questions now. But I've also gotten questions about like how to size up and down objects. So either you can use the right and left bracket key, I believe, is when you have like a quote-unquote normal keyboard. I have a Nordic keyboard. So for me, those keys are different. So if it doesn't, like if the left or right bracket key doesn't work for you, Google, search up like your language that you have on your keyboard, and then like Sims 4 commands maybe, or something like that. Sorry if you either heard anything weird or if that cut weirdly. I accidentally hit my mic and I wanted to not do that too much to your guys' ears. I can talk. I know how to talk. But yeah, just like Google those things and you find it pretty easily. It took me like when we got the like feature to be able to like size it up and down objects. I can definitely speak. I couldn't do it with like the left and right bracket key because I don't really have them on my keyboard. I mean, I do, but they're on the 8 and 9 key, and so it didn't really make sense for me. And so I was very confused for a while, but then I Googled and there it was. So if you're using a like Nordic keyboard like me, to size down objects, it's the key that is next like to the, oh, sorry if you heard that, I hit my keyboard with my nails, but it's the key that is right to the question mark, and if you want to size up objects, you use the wa key, which is one of the Swedish letters, or the Nordic letters. So yeah, but so it depends on your keyboard, or you can do what I do. Which is use a tool mod by Twisted Mexi, which is, I've talked about it so many times, it's so easy to use. It sounds more intimidating than it actually is. The tool mod basically makes you, or allows you to size up and down objects and do a lot of other things, but I use it mainly to size up and down objects. I can speak like more precisely. So if I want to size something up by like 0.001, I can do that, and it's so easy. I always, again, have the tool mod link down below as well. I also use that all the time to get things to the right level, which I also do with the red shelf, but sometimes it just, I don't know, sometimes I need to use that to get it to the right level because it doesn't work with like the OSMP shelf. I just should call it the red shelf, honestly. But yeah, so I use that as well. And also another thing to make it easier for you to build is the Better Build and Buy mod, which I've talked about before as well, which basically just means that the debug menu and the live edit menu gets directly into your like, what's it called, like catalog. Like, you don't have to put in the cheats to use it, and you don't have to put in the cheats to like move objects and stuff like that. Like, it's a god saver. I love it so much. Yeah, I always have those things linked down below, and those are like my biggest, like, to make things easier for you when you build. Use these things because it makes things so much faster and so much easier, and just you can clutter things up like you want to, because I am kind of the clutter queen, and so therefore I feel like I have the right to speak on this. I don't know if I do or not, but that is just what I want to say. I don't know if there was anything else that I like is easier to do, or like things that are good when you build. I don't know. Again, if you have any questions, let me know in the comments. I feel like I've been talking very fast, which I always do, so it's no surprise, but I feel like I've been talking faster than normal. I don't know why. I don't know. Anyways, how are you guys? I hope you guys are well. I'm okay. I still am not 100% recovered from COVID. I think I talked about it last week. Maybe, I don't even know, because I had to record last week's voiceover twice, so I don't know what actually, which was and which one. But I was at a doctor's, like a couple of weeks ago, and apparently because I have asthma and stuff like that, it's gonna take me longer to recover from COVID, so, I'm not like contagious or whatever, so I can like be around people. It's just really annoying because I still have symptoms and it's so annoying. But I'm surviving. Yeah, what else have I been up to? I don't really know what I've been up to. I've mostly just been chilling with my friends. While they have been playing games, I have just been chilling. I don't know. Oh, I started watching Shameless. I have known about Shameless, like the show, for forever. I like for a very long time. I mean, this came out in like 2011, and so I think I've known about it for a very long time, but I obviously was a kid for a long time, and so I've always just been, I think I started it, I want to say when I was maybe like 14 or something like that, and I was a very innocent child. I am not anymore. I am not anymore. Actually, no, I wouldn't have been like 14. I would have been like, I don't know, maybe like 11. So I was a child, and if you've watched Shameless, you will know that, I don't know, it obviously depends on like how you grew up, but like the way I grew up, not what I wanted to see. And so I think I've just always had this not resentment towards it, but just like this apprehension, I don't know, to watch it, because I was like, that one time I watched it, I was like traumatized, because I was a kid and I didn't know anything, but now that I am older, I'm still technically a kid. I mean, I'm 19, if you didn't know. Hi, I'm Mal, I'm 19, but yeah, so I'm still technically a kid, but I am far from innocent. I know anything and everything there is to know about shit, I feel like. So, not actually, but, doesn't make any sense. But I was looking for a new show to watch because I finished Gilmore Girls. Well, I've watched Gilmore Girls before, but, like, I finished rewatching it, and so I was like, I need a new thing to watch. Like, what am I gonna watch? And so I went on to, like, all the 15 different streaming services my family has. And I was like, Shameless. I keep seeing like things from this on TikTok. I might as well try it again. Maybe I would like it now. I like it. I'm on the second season. It is a fucked up show. Don't get me wrong. It is not for kids. Like, if you are a kid, do not watch it. If you are an innocent soul, do not watch it. If you are not ready to see the fact that people don't always have the easiest lives, do not watch it. But it's freaking hilarious. I'm on the second season now. I really do like it. I think it's really interesting, and I think it's good that there is representation of that type of life in media, because a lot of times people are like, oh, the perfect life or whatever, and that's like, they're happy. So for them, they have a good-ish life. I mean, not really, but and yeah, I don't know, it's a really good show, and I highly recommend it if you are over the age of maybe like 18. I think the actual rating is like 16 and over, but I would more so say maybe like 18 and over. Again, it depends on who you are as a person, how did you grow up and stuff like that. But yeah, it's a good show if you want to watch it. Let me know if you have any other show recommendations, because I need more shows to watch. I like having something to watch specifically when I eat and stuff like that, because I don't watch a lot of YouTube. Which is weird to say as I'm posting YouTube videos. But I watch Sims content, book videos, music commentary or like reactions, and ASMR to sleep. That is the only like 4th categories I watch, and then sometimes I will go to like an odd video about things, but normally those are just the 4 things I watch, and I usually watch like one channel from each. I am not even kidding. Well, when it comes to Sim stuff, I watch more because like I have a lot of friends here and stuff like that, so I watch more, but I usually have just like one creator from like each type that I watch. I don't watch a lot of YouTube, so I need more shows to watch. Actually, speaking of, me and my friend watched Has Been Hotel, or the episodes that are out so far, and oh my god, I love him. Last year my friend introduced me, not last year, oh my god, it's not, in 2022. I keep thinking that was last year, it's not, but in 2022 my friend introduced me to the like Hello Boss and Has Been Hotel like thing, and we've been waiting for Has Been to come out now since then. Like, my friend has watched it since the pilot came out in like 2019, I think it was, but now the actual like show is out. I think it is on Prime, and I love it so much. It is so fun. It is also if you're a kid, don't watch it. It is a kind of like a cartoon, but do not watch it. It is not a let's say a normal cartoon, maybe. Oh, sorry if you can hear anything, it's my nails. I keep like clicking them together. I'm sorry. But yeah, it's not a cartoon for the faint of heart, let's say like that. It's maybe more like a I don't know, I was gonna say Simpsons, but I don't feel like Simpsons is that bad. But like it's an adult cartoon, but it's also like a musical, and it's great. It has some great casting. Like, the casting is amazing, and I love it so much. Again, I've watched the pilot like a long time ago and stuff like that, but a long time ago, like 2 years ago. But yeah, it's a great show. So if you want to watch that, you can. The episodes are now coming out, I think it's like 2 a week or something like that, and yeah, it's great. I am very excited to see where it goes and stuff. I always do watch it though with my friend. Like, I refuse to watch it alone, so he always watches them right as they come out, and then a couple of days after he would be like, Mal, we have to watch it now, and then we will watch it together. And it's kind of just like our thing, and it's great. The same comes when it the same thing comes to what am I even trying to say? The same thing is with Hell of a Boss. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. But yeah, the same thing is with Hello Boss. Like, we always watch that together as well. It's kind of just our thing, and it has been since I met him, honestly. I think like genuinely since the week after I met him. So yeah, it's always just been us doing that. But yeah, if you have any show recommendations, let me know. I don't know if there was anything else that I wanted to talk about. I should mention that this house, by the way, this build is playtested. I had to change a couple of things in the like 3rd apartment. I think I had to switch the sink and the oven or like stove, whatever thing. I don't know, like, switch place on them. I don't know why it wasn't working the way it was, but they both worked when I switched them. It was weird. But yeah, so if you notice anything like that in the screenshots that looks different from how you're seeing me do them right now, that would be why. But yeah, back to talking about me. Because let's be honest, this is a mild podcast most of the time, and I don't know what else there is to talk about. I haven't been doing much. I've just been chilling with my friends and my boyfriend, and just, chilling, doing stuff, watching shows, playing games. Mostly what I've been doing. I have been editing a lot, and I started this build, which I posted a work in progress picture on Twitter, and I've been working on this build, and I am so excited. to share it. Like, I really think you guys are gonna love it, and I am so excited to share it. It's just a suburban house, but I really like it. It's huge, so it's gonna take me a while to furnish, but I'm having a lot of fun with it. But yeah, what else is there? What else? I don't know. I don't know. What have you guys been up to? I feel like there should be things that I should talk about, but I don't know. I currently have to make a decision about my like next couple of years of my life, which is going to be fun. If you didn't know, I had to drop out of school also 2 years ago now. Well, not 2 years ago, but like 2022, which I keep thinking is last year, but yeah, 2022. I was on my last like year, but I had to drop out because of health reasons, both like physical health reasons and mental health reasons, and I had to drop out, and now I am taking like one class just to kind of get into it again, and now I have to make a decision on where and how I want to study the next 2 years, because I have like two options, and yeah, it's stressful. I do not make decisions, like all of my friends know this. I never make decisions. I am never the one to make decisions. It stresses me out, specifically if there's other people involved, and obviously in this there's only me involved because it's my thing. And my parents and my family in general are all just like, whatever is good for you, like that's all they care about, which I'm so lucky to have that. Like, they have never pressured me to do anything. Like, they were even the ones who brought up me quitting, because they were like, you cannot continue the way you are, because then you will not end up living anymore. So all they care about is my health, which is really nice to have. So this decision only like involves me, but I do not like making decisions. I hate it. I am a very indecisive person. I have too much anxiety. It's not okay. Like, my anxiety is not okay. And I know that like every single person alive now has anxiety, and that's fair. Like, I think we're just like born with it, but I genuinely have diagnosed like severe anxiety, like one of the severest you can have, which is not great. I have generalized anxiety and social anxiety, so love it. And making decisions is not fun, not at all, and I'm not excited about it. Actually, I don't know, I just side tangent, but speaking of, I feel like this has to do with anxiety. I was talking to someone yesterday, and he was like, yeah, me and this other friend had this conversation before about how I'm not really like anyone in our friend group. Not me, but like how my friend is not like anyone, because he has like elements from everyone, but he's mix between us all. And he kept like, so he said like, oh, my humor is like this person, and I have like the way I think about this is with this person or whatever, which sounds really weird. I promise this makes sense in our conversation in our friend group. And then when it came to me, he was like, and I'm awkward like you. And I was like, what do you mean? Like, I know I'm awkward. I am very much aware that I am awkward. Like, everyone knows that I'm awkward, but like, or not everyone's, I know I'm awkward, but you're not supposed to know that I'm awkward. I'm supposed to be masking that. So how do you know I'm awkward? To be fair, this person knows me better than anyone else. So like, it's fair that he knows that, but like, what do you mean I'm awkward? And what do you mean you're awkward like me? Like, what does that mean? I didn't know if that was like a compliment or an attack on me. I didn't know. I still don't know. It's been like 24 hours since this, and I don't know. And yeah, that's just funny. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, anyways, that's basically it for this video, and I really hope you liked it. And don't forget to like, share, comment, and of course subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye!